Hey guys, my name is Shara Gottman and welcome back to my channel. I'm the NYC Wing Woman. I'm a dating coach and love expert and help men from all over the world learn how to attract and retain love. So today I'm going to teach you how to never run out of things to say. I know how hard it can be talking to a woman or even another man at times. Sometimes we get really nervous and we end up putting a lot of pressure on ourselves. And we end up not being able to formulate proper questions or proper conversations that just roll. It ends up becoming like an interview. Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever been on a date and felt like it was more of an interview? Or have you ever been on a date and there was that awkward silence where it was like crickets, like or whatever it is. Frogs, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm sure you guys have all been there, which is why you're at my channel right now. Well, I'm going to teach you how to never let that happen. But I need you guys to first be honest with me and be honest with yourself and truly listen to what I am saying and listen to what I'm going to tell you. Okay, so this is a trick that not many people know. When you're on the date and you're talking to a woman, first of all, prepare a few questions. I would say prepare 5 questions ahead of time that you plan to ask her. Now, with those 5 questions, have 3 follow-up questions to every single question and have those kind of already prepared. Now, I'm not going to ask you to always go to those questions, but in case there ever is a cricket or in case you end up getting nervous, you have a backup plan. So this is your rule number 1. Have 5 questions you're going to ask her tonight or whatever day you go on the date and 3 follow-up questions for a total of 15 questions that you already have prepared. Now imagine each answer takes 1 to 2 minutes. That's 15 to 30 minutes of a date that you already have completely set. Now, my rule number 2 may change things up a bit. I want you to really listen to what she says. Now, there's a difference between active listening and passive listening. Active listening is when you're actually really listening to what they're saying to the point that you can ask a question about it. It's going to come natural to you if you're truly, truly listening, because a lot of times you're going to want to learn more, and there's always something that you can ask about if you're really listening. Now, if you're not truly listening, that can change things a lot. Because if you're not truly listening and you're just focusing on the next question that you're going to ask, you're not fully engaged in the conversation. And when you're not engaged in the conversation, that's what allows for awkward turtles and for the conversation to become more like an interview. Why do you think that so many women have girlfriends? Because we like to talk and we're looking for a guy that can share that, which is why we have so many girlfriends, but we don't always have that many guy friends. Yet it's hard for us to settle down with a guy because we need to find a guy that can kind of replace the girls in a way and be the person that we can come to and talk to and tell our feelings to. So we want you to be that guy. So when you're listening and we're having a conversation, really listen so you can ask your next question. So say I'm going to ask a question like nothing exciting, but what do you do for work? Okay, she says she is a teacher, for example. So she's a teacher. Okay, then you can ask, how did you get into teaching? She'll tell you, oh, I got into teaching because I always loved to work with kids. Or she'll tell you, I always love to work with kids. And then you could say, oh, how is it now that you're actually a teacher and you're working with kids? Do you still love it as much? Okay, that's another question. Then she'll tell you, do you have any crazy stories about kids that act out? Or is it harder to work with the kids or the parents? I've heard all kinds of stories. You see, there's all kinds of things that you can build and build. Or she says she's a nurse. How did you get into nursing? Did it ever scare you working in the hospital? What unit do you work on in the hospital? You know, there's so many questions. Where did you go to school? Oh, are you from that area? Then that leads you to your next question. Are you from that area? Did you grow up there? Oh, you went to school for blah, blah, blah. What made you decide to actually choose nursing when there were so many careers back then? You see, all of these things, and then it allows you to talk about her passion. Well, I always loved helping people, and I really wanted to do something to give back. And then you could say, wow, that's amazing. Relate that now back to you. the reason I went into blah, blah, blah is because I love to do this, and this is what I'm passionate about. And then you can start building a connection. You'll never run out of something to say if you're actually listening. There's always something more that you can ask, especially if you don't really know this girl that well and you want to get to know her. Find out about her passions and then ask a question upon that. Anytime they say anything, there's another question that can follow that. So just be present. It's so important to be present. Be there, be listening, and be active. Now, when I tell you to prepare questions, I'm telling you to prepare questions that will allow the conversation to roll. Each question that you're preparing should lead you to the next question. The worst thing that happens on a date is when a guy has a canned question. These are questions that are very spontaneous, that kind of come out of nowhere, and you can tell he wasn't truly listening to what you were saying. So try to have your questions flow into the next conversation. If you prepare, if you listen, and if you're engaged, you will have a successful date, and you'll never run out of anything to say. Best of luck in your dating scene. Don't forget to subscribe and like and put a comment of the next thing you want to see. To get inside a woman's head, I am Cher Gottman, the NYC Wing Woman, and I look forward to seeing you all next time.